Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Deja Vu Survival, where we look at an old world with new eyes. My name is Glitch. Today we are looking at options that you have for mining as you search for resources near the bottom of the world. Now between episodes, I went ahead and set up a little mini base down here in the ravine. That way we have a place to drop off any of the ores that we find and also smelt up any of the valuables we find and have a place for storage. I also went back home and let the cat out, grab some supplies that will help us with our adventures, and also collected up all that iron and coal we passed on the way down here. Incidentally, just in that first chamber we found, and also in the cave systems coming down, I found a little over 3 stacks of coal, 2.5 stacks of iron, about a half stack of gold, a little bit more than 2 stacks of redstone, and about a stack and a half of lapis. Now, to get this stuff home, I'll probably have to convert it into blocks, and that's quite easy. You simply take the ingots or ore pieces into a crafting table, and it takes 9 pieces to make 1 block of ore, and you can just simply take those out, and then when you want the resources back, you simply pull them back out and you have them again. It's a great space saver for when you're traveling back from a mining session. To my knowledge, the only resource that does not give you this option is nether wart. Once you turn that into a block, you can't get the nether wart back, but that's a discussion for a different day. For now, though, let's go ahead and put that stuff back. Now our goal for today is to find some diamonds, but of course we're going to look for other valuables as well. Now before you start, I just want to throw out the reminder that you need to make sure that you have at least an iron pickaxe for collecting the ores. But even with that, I also will always carry stone tools with like stone pickaxe and stone shovels with me. The reason being the fact that they are cheap and they're pretty much disposable. Yeah, you may also want to carry an extra crafting table with you. That will help you as you're out, and when a tool breaks, you can quickly craft up another one without having to run back to your little hidey hole to get a new one. And one last thing that I usually will try to carry with me is I also carry either some fence gates or doors for blocking off passages, especially when I get into branch mining. Now, the reason for this is one, it keeps the mobs from sneaking up behind you, but also it allows you to see when you exit the mine so you can be safe in case something has wandered close to where you are. We also have some more wood with us, just in case we run out of sticks, so that we can either make torches or tool handles as we go. So, with all that in mind, let's go ahead and head out of our little hidey hole and check out some of the options for mining. Now, we went caving to get down here, and though a little bit of lag there, and though we went caving, uh, a lot of times players will start out a world by digging a staircase down to diamond level. I've actually never done this before in survival, partially because I've always been able to find a decent cave system. And incidentally, I spent a good bit of time ahead of between episodes running around trying to light up a lot of the caves down here, hoping to block some of the mob spawns, and so we can have our mining session in some peace and quiet. We may still run into people because you never know what you're going to hit in other caves, but uh, I went around and hopefully that will cut it down. But anyways, so when you go to try and dig a staircase down, You will have to do this if you're in a biome that doesn't have a lot of cave systems, and also you can use it if you spawn in somewhere where you just can't find an entrance. I know of a swamp in my world that there's just about there's just really no surface cave entrances. But to do this, you want to face the wall and you want to dig in for 5 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And usually you can go ahead and do the third one. Now, after this, now we're at y equals 20. We'll go ahead and step in 1. And then you just continue down like this. Don't forget to light things up as you go. But will simply do this, repeating the process until you're down to the level that you want. In our case, down at diamond level. Now, once you also get low enough, you want to be very careful because as you get lower, you will start to run into the area where lava is possible. So you want to listen. Be sure to listen. I tend to keep my game sound down a bit when I'm playing. However, you want to listen for that little pop of lava because that will be your sure warning that there is lava around, and that will hopefully keep you from getting cooked. And look at that, we're already hitting some ore. And all right, we're at 12, and I wanted to go down to 30. I want to jump up 1, break that out. Okay. And let's pop a torch down here. So now when you want to go out, you would simply jump back up, and you're out. Now I think what we're going to do is we're going to take that fence gate and put it down right here. That way no one can sneak up on us. And then, so that's how you get another option for getting down to diamond level. But beyond that, you still need to clear out the material. Next up, there's the option of strip mining. Now this is where you literally strip away every bit of material except for the bedrock in a given area. Now, while this does have the advantage that it gives you boatloads of resources for building, you are going to go through a lot of tools. And I mean a lot of tools. Now, since strip mining is a touch on the grindy sides, a lot of content creators will take care of it during a live stream where they can chat with their viewers. At this time, I don't stream, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine for 30 minutes and leave the recording running. If I find anything interesting, we'll come back and take a look at it after we're done. But while I do that, please enjoy some music from the YouTube audio library. Let's get started. And we're back. So after about 30 minutes of mining, here is is a look at the resources we gathered. So as you can see, I've got a really full inventory with all manner of different building blocks, but I found a lot of redstone, I found some gold, some iron, a little bit of coal, and of course, 6 diamonds. Now, I have to admit, uh, this version of mining was a lot more work than I anticipated, uh, but we still got the resources we need. Now, I don't know if you can see it in the time lapse, but I did get a tiny bit distracted during towards the end because as things went on, I kept hearing a sound and something I realized that has changed since I started playing. Sort out, and you're probably wondering why I brought my shield up. First off, I did find another cave, and we will explore that at a later time. But I came over here, and I started to hear that sound, and that is a slime. That really took me off guard because early on in my playing experience, slime chunks were broken in Bedrock. And in fact, the first time I ever actually encountered a slime, I had to go to a swamp that was over 2,000 blocks from my base. So I dug all over here trying to find where this little cave was. And humorously enough, let's go back up here. There he is right down there, and he is just going ape. So slimes are basically a hostile mob. They do come in 3 varieties: large, medium, and small. The large, I believe this guy is a large because he's stuck right here. They have a very fast kind of dash attack. And then also there are the medium. The large and the medium do deal damage when they hit you. The small slimes don't, and they're frankly kind of cute, but they do have a really valuable resource. So, unfortunately, this does change things up because our little mining base down there is in a slime chunk. And apparently, we're also in a thunderstorm. So, as cute as this little guy is, we're going to have to go ahead and. Alright, and let's go ahead and. Come here, boys. Yep. Oh, you're so cute. Now you can see now that I've gotten these guys down to the small size, they are doing absolutely no damage to me. But I want the slime balls because the slime balls are valuable for making sticky pistons and all manner of different resources. And I think I'm going to run back to my little base and sleep so we can skip through this thunderstorm because that can get a little on the loud side. So I will be right back. There we go. That should clear up that. So let's go ahead and put away our resources real quick. And I hear a skeleton somewhere. We'll put that there, there, that there. I will convert this into blocks at a later time. And our slime balls. Where'd the iron go? There it is. And let's go ahead and actually we're going to need to make up a bunch of torches. But now that we've looked at strip mining, being honest, that is not my favorite. And before we move on to branch mining, I thought it would be good to also cover a different kind of mining that can be a little more explosive. Back in episode 8, we found some TNT in a buried treasure chest. And while it is a fun block to use for traps and things like that, it can be also be useful for mining, especially since now in Java and I believe in Bedrock, TNT now gives you a 100% drop rate, so whatever it blows up, you get back. So for demonstration purposes, I thought it was a good idea to try it out. Okay, let's be honest, it's always fun to blow stuff up, right? So to use TNT for mining, I find it best to come one block up from the floor and dig back in a few. And we're going to go ahead and have to quick dig out that gravel. Okay, you know what? That's where it's going to be. So we place the TNT in, and then you can use a flint and steel. You can also use flame arrows. However, I find that the best way to do TNT is with redstone. Now, if you find that you did put it in a little too close, you can break it out with a pickaxe. I'm going to go ahead and see if we can't quick. Okay, good. That's the last of it. Let's go ahead and get that back in. Just a little bit further back in there. And so we lay down our redstone line. And you want to stand about 8 to 10 blocks back, but then once you do, is simply put down a lever or something that will activate it, and wait for the boom. And if you have gravel, you're probably going to be doing more digging after that. I did not anticipate that. But as you can see, oh, hello. So it cleared out all of this area up here was what was under here. I don't have any more with more TNT with us, but you get the idea that basically it's a little bit messy and not nearly as efficient as regular mining. But all the same, it's fun nonetheless. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at branch mining. Now, as far as mining goes, I vastly prefer branch mining. Now, the reason for this is that it doesn't leave a lot of area for mobs to spawn, and it's also a lot easier to light up to prevent those spawns. You probably noticed during the time lapse I kept spinning around because every time I heard a mob, I had to turn around just to make sure they hadn't spawned in some dark area that I had forgotten to light up. And the thing that's nice about this is it leaves the area a lot safer for you to concentrate on getting the ores that you're here for. Now, simply put, branch mining involves digging out a main tunnel and then you dig branches off it every few blocks. Now, I already went ahead and dug the main branch of the mine, of this part of the mine out, and personally, I will tend to dig my branches out every 2 blocks. So you dig out a branch, skip 2 blocks, dig out another one. There's some argument about which is the best version to do. Some people prefer 3. Some people even prefer 1. But when you're doing this, when you do the 2, I find that it exposes the maximum amount of ore. Now, one of the things that you will do is, as you're digging in, you need to light up the branch, but you're also going to go through less torches because you're not having to light up all the empty space that was taken up by your blocks. One other thing that I will do is I will put torches on both sides of the main shaft only. You'll probably notice that it looks like I'm breaking the rule of only putting torches on one side. The reason I do that is that it makes the main tunnel look just a little bit different from the branches, and then it gets kind of easy once you start going down these rabbit holes, down these different branches, for them all to start looking the same. Now, the other reason I went ahead and dug all the way down here is after our first mining session, I got a little bit curious. I jumped back into my regular survival world and I went to the spot where I first found diamonds. And we are currently at the correct x-axis, and the z-axis is going to be just a few blocks that way. So I just decided that I would just go ahead and dig it out and just see if the the diamonds that I found before generate in the same location. So let's go ahead and dig in a few blocks and see what we find. And you just need to go ahead and, as you're digging, you'll just dig the 2 blocks out in front of you. One other thing that's nice with branch mining is it's a lot easier to avoid lava because you're going to be digging out, and let's pop a torch down. You're going to see the lava well before, even if it is at this at eye level, it'll still be there. And oh, there's some coal. All right. Now you'll notice we've gotten a good bit, and now we pop one more torch down, and the entire tunnel is now lit up to the point where we're in safe lighting. A little bit further in. And I think I can hear a skeleton. But I'm starting to think we may be out of luck on this one. Oh, and yes! And let me just check my notes. Oh, they're not the exact same place, but they're in roughly the same area. Oh, that is just awesome. All right. Oh, that is just so cool. Let's take a look here. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so awesome. Okay, one other thing you want to do, I'm just going to touch on this real quick since we have these diamonds, is whenever you find, especially diamonds, you want to dig all the way around them. The reason for this is you never guarantee what's under them, and you may find lava, just like that. And I think somebody just fell into that lava trying to get to us. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put down our bucket of water, grab that up, but you want to dig all the way, in essence, carve out of them. You may have noticed in the time lapse me doing the same thing. This makes sure that if there is lava down there, you don't have your precious gems fall into that lava. Let's go ahead and do this. And there's our main branch. Dig that one out. Alright, and I think, is that everyone? Yes, that's everyone. Ooh, another 5. Oh, that is an absolutely wonderful start to a mining session. So now as I gaze lovingly at this beautiful, beautiful diamond ore, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and repeat the same 30-minute mining session and see what we can get. So while I do that, please enjoy just some more music from the YouTube audio library. Let's get started. And we are back. So let's take a quick look at the haul from our mining session. Now I had to cut things short just a tiny bit because my timer ran out while I was still gathering everything up. But just a quick look here, and we have over 2 stacks of gold, almost 4 full stacks of redstone, a little bit of gold, over half a stack of lapis, a little bit of iron, but the best of all, 17 diamonds. Can I just say that again? 17 diamonds. Now, our goal coming down here was to find diamonds. And in just that little session in the in strip mining, we wound up getting that. The rest of these are all they're like a bonus for our efforts because we need at least 3 for a diamond pickaxe so we can mine obsidian, and we also need another 2 for an enchanting table. So the rest of this is we're going to take home and it'll wind up being turned into tools and armor in the near future. So that being said, I think it's time to craft up our first diamond pickaxe so that we can get some of the obsidian we're going to need. Oops. And wrong key. Go. So let's go ahead and grab our first diamond pick. And come out of that so I don't craft up more. And just for paranoia's sake. Okay, good. Oh, I was scared to death for a moment that I shift-clicked on the diamonds, and that would have been just absolute disaster. Not that it's that bad to have that many diamond picks. You'll probably go through them all eventually, but that's not what we're looking for. So one of the things to remember about obsidian is that obsidian is generated from a water source block hitting a lava source block. The issue is obsidian is the second hardest material in the game. The hardest material in the game is bedrock, which is completely unbreakable. But one of the problems with mining obsidian is you will often have lava hidden underneath it. So what I recommend do, you barricade off a little section and then place down a bucket of water, and then while we're here, this little branch here is there, while we're here, as we mine the obsidian, first off, it takes a long time to mine. But if there is, now you heard that little hiss, what happened was, let's go ahead and grab our water back up. What happened was, you'll notice there's obsidian all around this. When there was lava under there, and as soon as we mined out the obsidian, the water hit the obsidian and made more, but also it caused the obsidian we just mined not to get dropped into the lava and lost. So that's just a good safety tip and also an efficient way to get obsidian. Now, because this stuff takes a long time to mine, I'm going to go ahead and gather what we need. We need 4 pieces for our enchantment table, and I'm going to go ahead and gather enough so that we can make a nether portal down the road. I'm going to do that off camera so that we can go ahead and get going on we can go ahead and call it, finish things up for today. So I'll be right back. No matter what method of mining you choose, it's an integral part of the game. Personally, I find it kind of relaxing, and I think that's why it's become one of my favorite parts of playing Minecraft. Now that we have our mine set up and we have a ton of resources, I think it's time to smelt all this stuff up and head for home. I'm also, although with the haul we got, it might take a trip or two. I'm also really excited that we found that slime. I'm going to have to do some research on slime chunks and see if I can figure out whether that guy generated somewhere else in a cave and then just wandered down, or if it was close by and we might have the makings of a slime farm on our hands. There are also some other features down here that I'd love to check out, but With the 1.14 update having been released in the recent history, there are also some new features that have been added that I want to check out as well, especially the bees. And I also definitely want to do some enchanting soon, and possibly go to the Nether. Though I have to confess, I'm a little bit torn on what to do there. Partially because with the Nether update coming sometime next year, I don't want to get there and go too far afield. But also, part of me wants to check out some of the features that I know are there. But I also don't want to generate chunks that will then make it so that we can't find the. We have to go traveling a lot to find some of the new features that are coming in that update. What do you guys think? I'm definitely going to get some enchanted gear before we go there, so I want to make sure. So it's going to be a few episodes out, but I think right now my plan is to go set up the Nether portal and go to the Nether and check out some of the features that are nearby to where you originally spawned into the Nether. Like a Nether fortress that was not too far from where my original Nether portal was. And also, I really, really want some Nether quartz. Now that we have a lot of redstone, we could start digging into some redstone projects, which I absolutely love and are one of my favorite things to do. But we need some quartz for a few of the key redstone components. So, like I said, I think the plan is we're going to go and just explore just in the area around the original Nether, my original Nether base that I set up, and then after the Nether update drops, we'll go ahead and go exploring a little further. At that moment, that's my basic plan, but I'm open to suggestions. So drop a comment down below and tell me what you think. For today, though, I'm all out of time, so I need to get packed up and head home because next time we're going to have one enchanted evening. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like, and also consider subscribing if you want to see more content like this. My name is Glitch, and I hope I'll see you next time on the next episode of Deja Vu Survival. Thanks for watching.